am doing another live today to show you how I make ciabatta bread. So I do have an automatic bread maker. So I'm going to be using automatic bread making flour. So this is a brand called Moulin Gold. It's just ciabatta bread flour that I use in the automatic bread flour machine. But we're not making it in the bread machine today. So this one's already half a packet, which is 500 grams. So it says to add 400 mils of water. So I always add my liquids first. So this is my bowl for my mixing machine. I add 400 mils of water first. And I don't add cold water. I warm it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Oh, forgot. To the water, I add some olive oil. So I'll show you. It's just about round about a tablespoon of oil. And then to that, I start adding other ingredients. So, what do I add? Well, first of all, I'll add some rosemary, dried rosemary, because I don't like having plain boring bread, as usual. The reason why I add the herbs to the water is because then it mixes into the flour easier. Next, I will add some oregano, because I'm making a herb flavour bread. Normally, they sell ciabatta bread just plain. And when you have it plain, it doesn't really taste of anything. So, I'll just give you a quick recap of what I'm doing. I am making ciabatta bread dough first of all. So, this is the packet I'm using. So, unfortunately I'm doing this to put on my YouTube, so I can't accept any person to do a live with at the moment, because I'm going to be putting this onto my YouTube channel. So I'm using I have an automatic bread machine, but this mixture that I'm making is going to go into the oven, because I'm trying to show the followers at home how to mix up the dough to use at home in a normal oven using automatic bread flour rather than using plain flour. So what I'm adding is just herbs. The reason why I'm adding herbs is you can add any herbs you like. So in the bowl I have 400 mils of warm water, just plain water, with about a tablespoon of oil. And now I'm just adding herbs. So now I'm going to add some mint. So you want to make your ciabatta bread nice and tasty. So I'm just going to add a bit of sumac powder, because we're not adding any chili. So we want the herb bread to taste nice and herby, because my family are going to make, well, they're not going to make because we have frozen kebabs. So we're going to have frozen kebabs in the flatbreads. These are going to turn into flatbreads. So I already have half a packet. So this mixture is for half a packet. So 500 grams, because it's a 100 gram bag. So you put in 500 grams of flour into it. I haven't made this for a while, so let me just check the packet whether I need to add anything else. So that goes on top. Remember, always put your liquids first at the bottom and then your flour on top. So let me just check what it says on here. So all the flour's going everywhere. So you can add tomato. Well, I'm allergic to tomato, because in German. I'm just reading it quickly. Nope, doesn't say you add anything else. So I'll just get rid of this flour that's on here, because I don't want that going everywhere. Wash my hands as well. So I'm going to add some seeds to it. The reason why I add seeds is because it gives it a bit of extra flavour. So, like yesterday, I added sesame seeds. I'm going to add some sesame seeds to it. So you just grab a generous amount. The next thing I will add is some cinnamon seeds. Because all these seeds have vitamins in and omega-3. Because of the pandemic, you want to be having lots of vitamins to prevent you from catching any sort of viruses. So this is linseed seeds. So the more vitamins you eat, natural vitamins, the better it will be for you. So let's just find the poppy seeds. So let's put 1 teaspoon of poppy seeds in. I might add some, I'm going to add a little bit of shredded coconut. That's shredded coconut. I'll add a little bit, just to give it a bit of Middle Eastern taste to it. Just to make it a bit different. Because my family don't really eat it. Now I have some of these. Hanf salmon. I don't know if you know what that means. Hanf salmon is, it comes from this plant here. This plant. So what I'll have to do is just grind that up, and I'll show you what I mean by grinding it up. I'll get the grinder, see if it'll go in the peppermill grinder. Right then. I'm going to try this peppermill grinder because this one has nothing in it. So this is empty. Undo it. Let's see if I can put it into there. I don't know where the funnel. Oh, I have to use the other funnel again. So use a funnel, that way you don't spill everything everywhere. So I need to cut this with scissors. I can't remember. Oh yes, I purchased this from DM. The store is called DM. The store is called DM. It's a supermarket in Germany. So they have food section. So that's where I purchased it from. I just couldn't remember. I just had to look on the label. So I do not like all this plastic packaging because it makes it difficult to get into. So just take the sellotape off. It's going to go into I think I'm going to put it into a glass jar because I can't fiddle around with that bag. So I'll just find a glass jar to put it into first. Just to make it easier for pouring from. So I'll find a glass jar and pour it in there. Just makes it easier. So now I'm not spilling the whole bag. So then it's gone in there. Just put a bit more in. So using a peppermill grinder, you'll get the kernels, and then just tap that. Tap it, will go in. And that's got one bag. Let's put the rest of it into here. And then what you can do is cut the label off with where's the best before date? Trying to find the best before date on here. Oh, there's the best before date right at the bottom there. 22nd of the 2nd, 22. So what you do is you cut that label off and put it on your jar. And that way you know when the best before date is for your food. So what I'll do is I'll have to cut that paper off and then put it on my jar. I'll put it over here. I'll just pour the rest of this in. Gently squeeze it in. There's some here as well. So storing your herbs and spices in a glass jar is better than leaving them in the plastic bag because it will keep them fresher longer. And also it means you can see what's in the jar rather than having, no, it's not going to show, rather than having lots of plastic bags in your cupboard. Now let's see how this closes. Being a bit, that's it. So that's the battery compartment at the top. It just slides on. Let's move this over here. So now we can grind this and see if it works. So as you can see, he's grinding it. Hang on. It grinds it quite fine. So you want to grind these seeds so they're not thick seeds. So it just grinds it. Because if you leave the seeds, because as you can see, maybe let's see if you can focus it. The seeds are quite thick. If you leave that, it gets stuck between your teeth. And you want it to cook properly, so now you can see all the mixture in there. So I'll just grind a little bit more. This one's a bit quieter, this peppermill, so it's good. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. I'll grind some nutmeg into it as well. So that's the grinder, I'll just put that there. Nutmeg. Nutmeg gives it that nice nutty flavour. You can put other nuts in it, so I just grind some nutmeg into it. You can see that. You can add cinnamon, but I don't really have any cinnamon left. I need to buy some more bio cinnamon. So that's the nutmeg that's gone in it. So just tap it so it grinds it there. So that's the grinder, you can see that's where it grinds it. So let's move this over here so then you can sort of see. So this is the mixer, it just slides it on here. Now let's see if I don't think you can see. Well, I'll move the phone then you can see it in a minute. So now you might be able to see it a bit better. Probably be a bit noisy now. So it'll just take less than a minute to mix this up because it's got the dough hook on it. So as you can see, easy peasy, it just takes not long. And then once you mix the dough up, you put it into a bowl, cover it up and leave it for a couple of hours before you actually use it. And leave it in like a warm place. Not in an oven, just at room temperature. That's it. Once you see that mixture becoming like that, you can do this with chapati flour as well. You can do this with flour to make naan breads. Or you can do it with any kind of bread flour. And you see how quickly it mixes the bread flour up. So this is how you make the professional bread flours. So you can have all the nice tasting breads at home quite easily. All you need to know is like this, is knowing what flour to use. This is strong bread flour, so this works perfect in this kind of machine here. So I'm not going to put it on the fast speed because it'll be too noisy, but as you can see, the gluten in the flour is working because of the warm water. Not too hot, just warm. If you put cold water in, it doesn't mix it. And you want that stringiness in the dough. Hang on, I'll just put it back up here and then I'll show you. Lift the dough hook up and then I'll show you what I mean by stringiness. So now you can see that stringiness on the dough. That's when you know that the dough is ready. And I'll just show you. That's when you know that the dough is ready because it goes stringy like that. So this is the part one of making the bread flour, yeast dough. And then when I'm ready to roll the dough out and show you how to actually form the breads, I'll come back on live later on, probably about 6:30. It's about 4:30 now, so probably in about a couple of hours I'll come back and then show you, because this needs to rest, and then I'll show you how to make it. It'll probably be another half an hour showing you how to do that. So yeah, I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll put this on Instagram and then on my YouTube as well.